Hey everybody, Scoutcrafter here again. We got a nice little project today. Now, I've done this project before, just a heads up, and the project is a never stall windmill wrench. And what happened was, a few people had asked me, they said, what's your favorite tool? If you had to have a tool, you know, what's your wish on your wish list of tools to have? And you know something, I would think back and I said, there's one tool I did for a friend of mine, Bert, in Connecticut. And I did this about 8 months ago, and I did this tool for him. And I always said, oh, I really love that tool. And it's like kind of it's a regret. It's like when you have a project that you did and you let it go. And I said, oh man, so I had to find another one. And I did, you know, I waited a long time because I wanted one in decent shape. I found one, and this is it. So let's check it out. Now, here is the wrench in question. And what it is, this is the never stall wrench. And now this piece here, this thumb screw, was something I had no idea about. Later models of this wrench came with this hole. I thought somebody had drilled it themselves, but then I found out that, you know, a little bit more of a rare model has the hole drilled in it that you could use. I'll show you how that works later. There'll be a link in the description of my original video, which I must say, I'm not saying it because it's me, but it's an excellent video. And it tells all about the wrench. It shows how it's used. So we're just going to concentrate on restoration and what we have here. I want to do it just like I did Bert's, you know, because I just love the way it came out. This is no joke. This is not a gimmick wrench. It's forged steel. The problem is here, you can see we got a bend, a little bit of a bow to it, which we're going to use the dake to take out. Now, I've seen a lot of these cracked or broken, so I'm a little nervous. If I put under the dake and snap it, I'm back at the drawing board. But hopefully we'll have good luck today, and I'll tell you a little bit about the wrench. Let's get to it. And let's look at the condition it's in. You know, it's not in bad shape. A lot of times these are broken off, or one of these tips are broken off on the nail puller, but this one's in pretty decent shape. It just needs a good cleaning. We're going to paint it up the same way we did Bert's wrench, and let's get to it. Okay, we're back at the dake, everybody's favorite. We got to figure out how we're going to hook up this wrench. Now, we did a post-wire brush. Here's a post-wire brush evaluation. Got everything. Now, I got one problem already I ran into. I can't get that screw out. It spins freely, but it's in there. So, this is another problem. If you drill it out, you're just going to ask for a lot of problems. I'm going to have to work around that. But you can see the bend here, okay? Now, there's a bend, and the bend is right here. Right here is the bend. And, it's kind of hard to see. You can see it there a little bit, but I'm always a little bit nervous over here. So I'm going to throw a little bit of heat over here where I want it to bend. Just nothing, you know, nothing to change any tempers or anything. But then I'm going to put it here between some blocks of wood, press down, and hopefully we can straighten this out. You'll see right away. Okay, you can see the setup here. We have it here just so you can see the bow. And we got the piston right over where the top of the bow is, separated. It's on wood, so it's a little bit softer. And we're going to just apply a little bit of heat, put it back here, and put some pressure on. Okay, here we are at just ready for paint. Now you can see what we did. Took everything. It is so smooth, you know. But now we're going to fill this in with color here, and then of course all where it was black here, I left that. And like I did with Bert's, I'm going to leave this here because that's used as a pry bar. And oh, it's beautiful. I love this wrench, and it's straight as an arrow. So the dake came through once again. There we go, you can see. Came through once again. And that machine has paid for itself. So let's get to now, you know my favorite part. You remember what this wrench looked like before we started. Okay, we are calling this project done. And, well, my quest is over. I got the wrench I wanted. I did a little bit different than Bert's wrench. You could see because I did this in red and the rest in black. I kept Bert's traditional, but I like to elaborate a little bit. And you could see here, everything came out just beautiful. The paint, the polish. I mean, it's smooth and it's heavy duty, and this works like a charm. 1 drop of oil. And there's 2 holes in here that are different than Bert's one. And I don't know if that has to do with this feature here, which I'm going to show you now. Let me show you how this and what this is all about, and we'll hook that up. This little thumb screw that came on certain models, what it was meant to do was to make your windmill wrench a little bit of a clamp. Now I could just put it over here like this, tighten up on this clamp, this thumb screw, and it gave you a pretty solid clamp here that you could clamp something in. Let me show you how. Okay, now how this clamp would work is once the windmill wrench was clamped to the table, if you needed a third hand or something, you could take and put a piece of stock or a piece of wood into the clamp, and then tighten down on this thumb wheel, so to speak, and you know, just enough that it would give you a third hand, and it was somewhat solid, you know. It wouldn't be like if you had some kind of a clamp that you could push on, but you could see how it might come in handy as a third hand with that screw. Now, because the screw would stick out of the jaw so far, a lot of people would remove it, keep it in your pocket for when you might need it, but obviously it would get separated from the wrench, and that's why most of these you'll see do not have the screw, the corresponding screw. This is a different screw that wasn't even included with the wrench, and I know that this is probably a little bit of a shorter video, but I would implore you to go watch the my original Bert's restoration and see what this wrench could do. I just want to show you the quick restoration of a wrench that I'm glad to have back in my collection. So thanks very much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it. Take care now. The link is in the description for the other video. Bye-bye.